Message received. May 14, 2015. A wealthy woman or man, do you think they have everything? On the contrary, many times they are subject to trials far worse than yours. Material comfort alone cannot and should not be the only criterion of judgment. If you think carefully, most spirits who undergo this kind of test fail in one way or another. Few know how to use wealth wisely, because it's easier to give in and be corrupted than to listen to the voice of the soul, echoed by one's conscience. Comfort often weakens the fibers of a spirit's character, turning into indulgence in many forms. Many want, but few are truly prepared to take on the most important and visible responsibilities. Why? Because they would choose to serve themselves, seeking to increase their gold and power rather than serve those in need. Doing good with money, it's not a privilege, it's a duty. Let us remember the story told in the Bible. A landowner gave his servants talents of money to put to use. After some time, he returned and asked for an account. And the most reprimanded was the one who simply hid the money and did nothing with it. Well, reality isn't so different. To whom much is given, much will be required. In earthly life, the more one has, the more they must use intelligence and love to make their fortune useful. What use is a fortune locked away in a bank vault? None. The essential purpose of money is the betterment of humanity through exchanges that create opportunities, jobs, service, and growth. So, then do you truly believe you can manage money wisely, despite of temptations along the way? Using it well according to the criteria of usefulness in charity, without being stingy or attached, without being seduced by the ease that money can buy? Would you perhaps commit greater faults than you do today simply because you would have more chances to fall? Understand that money itself is neither good nor bad. It's merely a tool. What makes it good or bad is the person behind it, who lends it in their character and intentions. Even in the hands of someone with poor character, money can still benefit a community more than if it remained ridden. That's why God allows the unjust to prosper, so they might have a chance to learn And because progress still happens, even in that way. Let us remember that we are imperfect beings on a planet of trials and atonement. In this contest, the tools that God uses are crude and volatile, that are ourselves. What is fascinating is that God is in no rush for us to grow. He gives us as many chances as we need in time, with so many lives that we already have or will have. We'll have the opportunity to be rich and powerful if we haven't had it already. But when we ask for something, we should always add, if this is good for me. Because often we desire things, chances, and opportunities that would only harm us. We simply don't have the maturity or preparation to handle them well. If we desire greater responsibilities which involve more money and power, let us first take better care of the responsibilities at our hands that we already have. Are we neglecting something? Let's look back. How are we managing our lives? Is everything truly under control? Are you sure? Sometimes we wrongly believe that more money or power will solve our problems. That's wishful thinking. Money can often make things worse, or better said, it swaps simple problems for more complex ones and harder to solve ones. So let us be thankful for having a more or less life that is more or less materially speaking, with more or less problems. Believe me, when we have money and power, we may do unspeakable things to keep them. Attachment and possessiveness takes over. I know this from personal experience. This is the Spirit who gave us this communication. In my last life incarnation, I lacked for nothing except luxury. But I insisted. I had to have lots of money. And I finally got it. But that wasn't enough. I wanted more. Then I needed power, which I also had. For a time, I had everything. But suddenly, the rug was pulled out from under me. Faced with a true crossroads, I made the wrong decision, trying to hold on to my status and pride. What happened next? Do I need to say it? Well, I managed to delay the fall for a little while, but only briefly. Everything collapsed before my eyes. My so-called friends vanished. I'd end up destroying my family in the attempt to restore my power and my glory. I learned that not even the most powerful king is immune to the blows of life, and that a tiny pebble placed by fate through our poor choices can trigger the greatest downfall into the deepest abyss. No one is safe from disappointment and hardship. No one. So be grateful for the opportunity you have today. Some with fewer resources, some with a bit more. Why be grateful? Because your chances of falling spectacularly and harming many peoples are small. Have you thought about that? I remember here, like Spider-Man quotes, with great power comes great responsibility. Back to the message. You are here to work on yourselves and those few close to you. Even though the challenges may feel great, trust me, they are manageable with common sense, prayer, and uplifting reading. This is a different point of view, isn't it? It's seeing the other side of the coin, the side that isn't shiny or golden, but blackened, tarnished, and ugly. I wish you could truly learn from my experience, to value what really matters, love and charity. Everything else is false. It shines, but does not radiate. It makes noise, but doesn't charm. It deceives, but doesn't enlighten. It flatters, but doesn't comfort. It empties and never fulfills. It distances and always wounds. A harm embrace. Thank you for listening so kindly. I hope these words echoes in the depths of your hearts to help you guide your actions properly. Until the next message. Bye bye.